Hello, Bella here.
Hi, Bella.
Thank you for the specific invitation.
Yes, it's good to hear from you. It's
Thank
been a
you.
while.
Yes?
I hope you're still helping me out in the office with all these pregnancies. Had a lot more lately.
Yes, of course. And today with your procedure, we like working in the small spaces. That's what we are best at.
Well, thank you. So, what's new with you? If there is such a thing.
Well, we have plenty to do. Looking after children and parents. Mostly mothers. We are here and there. Looking out for them.
So,
We are a little different than angels. We don't necessarily wait to be asked. We stick our noses in anywhere that we please.
good. Thank you for doing that. So, I don't know if this is possible because there's no such thing as time where you are, but are you working with different people at what we would consider to be the same time?
Well, there are very, very many of us, and it would appear to you that we work individually. However, we are operating with a collective mind, but we have individual will, and we assert our will to do whatever pleases us. Most of us working with children, as we said, and mothers, and with other caregivers or around the essential thriving of children. But we operate as a hive mind. We are always connected intellectually to one another. We are always connected. It is like we are on a phone line with all the thousands of us on the same line at the same time. It's not overwhelming or confusing for us at all, but that will give you a sense of how we are communicating. Yet, as I said, we are all individual and we are acting in conjunction with our own will.
Oh.
Doing what we please.
Oh, thank you for that explanation. One of the things that's been more in the forefront for me is about how much trauma affects children. How
Yes, and their parents are generally such bullies, even though they believe themselves to be so with it and kind and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But children need a vast amount of assistance, so much more assistance than parents can provide. And many children, even children you would not realize, need protection from well-meaning parents who oppress and indoctrinate them through control and restraint and manipulation and so on. So we are never without work to do.
Yeah.
And much of what we do is whispering in the ears of children. That is not true. That is not who you are. It is okay to be what you are, and so on.
Yes, I have discovered over the years that a lot of times the parents will bring in a child, and it's not the child that needs to be treated, it's the parents.
The children are sick because the parents are anxious and fearful and distracted and angry, and then the children are sick because of it.
Yes.
The parents are creating the atmosphere, and the children, with only a few exceptions, but the children are there just receiving and drinking in the atmosphere. Very few children are reincarnated with the ability to bend the spoons and with the cognizance to create their own reality, and so they are like little sponges, just absorbing everything. And the parents are not protecting them, just like the little child that shot his teacher.
Yeah.
He had in his psyche someone planted on many occasions the idea that that guns were a valid way of eliminating an inconvenience. And his mother reinforced this idea without words of any sort. She reinforced it by having a gun there. And the child obviously knew where the gun was. And it may not seem like a logical response for a 6-year-old child to shoot someone with a gun, but we would say it's a very logical response when a child has been taught for 6 years that it is powerless and has no say in its own life. So when children are constantly being communicated to them through various words and actions and practices of parents that they are powerless over their own life and have no say over what concerns them at all, of course they would feel angry about that.
Yes.
And they do not have, of course, at that age, do not have the capacity to understand the permanent consequences of an impulsive choice, of course. And they cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. They are not meant to at that age. And thus you have such a tragedy as this one. We have been enjoying tremendously this week the listening in on the reading and processing of this vessel as she has read the words of the master about his childhood, and we have enjoyed it immensely. You see, he was raised by his grandparents, and parents could benefit from being a little more like grandparents, meaning really taking joy in the children, really taking joy in them and being present there for them and letting them be free without so much restraint. And so the master is much of what he was the outgrowth of his wise and well-meaning grandmother. She had the wisdom to understand, well, if we have only amounted to this in our lifetime, then why would we think we know how to influence this child? So why would a parent who thinks they are unhappy, a parent who is unhappy, why would a parent who is unhappy and angry and stressed think that they have something different to offer a child? Why would they think that they have the recipe for happiness for the child? They obviously do not. And so the master was allowed to roam and play outside, and his grandparents, intuitively understood that quiet was a need for this child, so they did not disturb him. And he was allowed to do what he pleased. And he was not told what to do. We don't understand why parents think they have the right to tell a child what to do. Of course, to set proper fences in place to protect children from harm, but otherwise letting them make their own choices. Now, if an adult were in a relationship where the other constantly made the choices for them or told them how they should do a thing, the adult would likely not comply. And if they did, they would be quite angry. And why wouldn't they be? And why wouldn't a child be angry?
Yes, and then they're taught to repress their anger.
Wise parents allow their children to feel their feelings and display their feelings in any manner that they please, as long as they're not harming themselves or another. And allows the child to display these emotions in any way that they appear until the emotion has been spent completely.
And Bella, there's somebody who is your namesake. I'm not sure what that really means, but I think that's the right word. Has the name Bella, who I could use some help, any help you can do to help. She's unfortunately being mistreated by Western medicine, and she's such a beautiful soul. I really believe she can be cured, and I hope that she will give me the opportunity to work on that, and any help that you could give or anybody else could give, I'd be very grateful.
Yes. We are happy to help.
Thank you.
And Bella is in a season of talking back. And this is good. Let her talk back to anyone she wishes to talk back to.
Good.
And now, the young master, when he was a child, said, "I do what I want. I do what I want." This was his response to inquiries by his caregivers. And he said, "And I cannot explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing, because you will not understand, but I will do what I want." Now, what say you? What say you if this vessel says to you, "I will do what I want"? What will you say to that?
Good. I wonder.
Oh, we shall see. We shall see. We're not sure we believe you.
Really? All right. Yeah, maybe not 100%.
It is good. It is good for these adults like the ones you spoke of. It is good for them to begin to talk back. It is good for them to stand up and support their inner child. Stand up, and support. And give voice to the little child inside of them that was not defended as a little one and not allowed to do what they wanted. Their will is not respected, and so we wonder why are young mothers, why are they depressed? Why are they sad, depressed, and angry? Because when they were little girls, they were not allowed to speak for themselves or do what they wanted. They were taught to repress their very being.
Okay, so I'm going to back you up here. So my understanding is, or I think that my role is to protect the vessel, because the vessel is in very, very different states of being, and sometimes not as aware or not fully in the body. And so I feel like it's my job to make sure that she is protected. And so, yes, maybe there are some things, like if she said, tomorrow I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to drive to my grandkids, I personally would think that would not be such a great idea, and I would probably try to.
Well, she
stop
hasn't
her.
said such a thing.
I know, but that's what I'm just using that as an example.
Well, one day at a time, one moment at a time.
All right. Actually, one time she did say that a few months back, but she didn't do it.
Well, as you know very well, what is important is what one does rather than what one says.
Yes. Yes. I see her as somebody who can make a huge difference on this planet, and I would like to help and facilitate that any way I can.
Yes, she can. She can, far beyond your imagination.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, dear ones. We will be on our way.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're very appreciative, very grateful.